Going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are doing well, enjoying your Thursday. It is Thursday, y'all, and I know I didn't have a show this morning, but I did talk about that on my late stream last night. There is some breaking news right now, y'all. We got some breaking news that we got to talk about that I found very interesting, to be really straight funky on all this. And actually, you know, I'm actually kind of happy about this. I am not going to lie. I am actually very, very happy about this because, let's be real, PA most definitely needs to get in trouble and maybe have to face the music, right? And lay in the bed that he has made, right? You see the title down below. This is insane. It's breaking news. PA, because I can't say his name, unfortunately, has been stripped of his Royal Highness, his military titles, and then some. And now he's going to have to, if they actually proceed with the trial, if he actually goes inside of a courtroom, he is going to have to defend himself as a private citizen. Bruh, the Queen said, we done. She said, I'm done, y'all. Him in big trouble now. Okay, him in big trouble. Now, for those of y'all who haven't done that yet, please do me the favor before we jump into this article and some of these news clips that I have. Before we jump into all that, please hit that like button. Send those likes all the way up. It'd be greatly appreciated. You know what I mean? Your boy out here working hard out here in the streets. And international streets as well, to give you guys the things that are going on in the world and then some. All right. And of course, for those of y'all who are just watching the show for the very first time, please do not forget to crush that subscribe button. I know this popped off. I was planning on doing a different live, talk about this other story, this other unbelievable story that just broke in Fayetteville, North Carolina, same area as the Jason Walker incident and murder that happened to that man. There's another shooting that happened just a few days before this. So before the murder of Jason Walker. So I wanted to bring that story up and talk about it. But then this popped off. I opened up my computer, opened up the web pages, and blammo, this stuff came out. So please do not forget to hit that subscribe button. This is breaking news as we speak. As of the past 2 hours, this has been breaking like a mug. So please hit that like button, send those likes all the way up, hit that subscribe button, and let's get into the nitty gritty. All right. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm going to keep saying that over and over and over again. I'm working towards 50,000 subscribers, and dag nabbit, it's been a tough one. I ain't going to lie. It's been a tough hill, but if we can get past the 49s and get into the 50s, that would be absolutely amazing. So please share this feed and tell people to hit that subscribe button. Okay. So anyway, we got to go into this because this is huge. This is huge, as some people would say, because here's the thing. Aside from him getting his titles removed so that he cannot hide behind his Royal Highness. He cannot hide behind the fact that he is of royalty. Also, the judge also said that he has to be tried, whether it is settled outside of court or he goes through a trial. A judge actually ruled out all the other possibilities of him being able to finesse out of this ish. Real talk. So this is some crazy stuff, y'all. We got to get into this. Now, actually, let me throw this. I need to flip things. I need to smack it up, flip it, and rub it down a little, and reverse this stuff really quick. Because here's the thing: the judge did reject PA's bid to throw out this SA lawsuit, right? So there is a clip. I feel like there's a series of events that happened that caused this title, him being stripped of his privileges, right? So I think we should look at this clip first and then go from there. I think that'll make more sense before we go into the ultimate breaking story right now, where I think homeboy screwed. He is screwed big time. Now that Queen Elizabeth is going up, she chucking up the deuces. She done. That's not a good news. That's not a good move, and that's not good news. So let's get into this piece first, and then I'll go into the article because I think that this part is very interesting. Okay. Like I said, judge rejected PA's bid to throw out the SA lawsuit, y'all. We got a clip from Good Morning America. Let's take a listen to what they got to say here. And I think this is what tipped everything over. This is the straw that broke the camel's back, at least that broke the camel's back for Queen Elizabeth. How's that?
Under more pressure, a U.S. judge for now rejecting his motion to dismiss the lawsuit from a Jeffrey Epstein accuser who says the British royal abused her when she was underage. The ruling sending shockwaves through Buckingham Palace. James Longman is here in the studio with us with more. Good morning, James.
Yeah, good morning, Robin. So far, Prince Andrew's legal team have been trying to use technical arguments to get the suit against him dismissed. This ruling now ramps up the pressure on him to provide real evidence of his innocence. He's now one step closer to an uncomfortable choice: go to trial or settle out of court.
This morning, options are running out for Prince Andrew, a federal judge rejecting his attempt to dismiss the civil suit against him at this stage. The judge, for now, rejecting the Duke of York's claim that a 2009 settlement between Virginia Giuffre and convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein exempted him from being sued. Epstein died by suicide in jail in 2019. That 2009 settlement included a clause protecting other potential defendants from future lawsuits. The prince's lawyers arguing that term included Prince Andrew, but the judge didn't agree, calling the language ambiguous.
Now, this is interesting, right? They said, "Oh, it's ambiguous. It's not a very specific yet in the statements and all that. It says his name, but it's still ambiguous," which I find very strange. But let's continue.
The loss is significant because it means Andrew's team will have to exchange potential evidence with the other side as the case proceeds to pretrial. The civil case against the Duke of York brought to court by accuser Virginia Giuffre. Now 38, Giuffre claims she was trafficked for sex by Jeffrey Epstein and alleges Prince Andrew had sex with her on several occasions and in multiple locations, including New York, starting when she was 17.
Now, remember Prince Andrew's infamous interview. I said his name, dagnabbit. But anyway, remember PA's infamous interview where he said, I can't sweat because I was at war. There's a new strange medical condition where I can't sweat. He literally said that verbatim. He said he cannot sweat because of being at war. The tensions and because of a war injury, I guess he cannot sweat. So I'm just giving you guys jogging your memories a little bit, okay? This woman, Virginia Giuffre, said that she was with him and that there was a night of dancing and all that stuff, that she has been with him on several occasions. It says it right here. Starting at the age of 17 years old, where she gives a very graphic detail that he was sweating profusely. And then in this infamous interview where he's like, "No, I never met her. I don't know her." He says all that. "I don't know who she is. I've never met her before," and all that stuff. I showed the photo. I'll probably show it here again in a second because it's just hilarious. Because how could you deny meeting someone when there's full-on photos where you are standing right next to her, shoulder to shoulder, all booed up and stuff? You know what I mean? Booed up. Lady Justice, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I can't pull it up on here right now, but he's probably sweating bullets right now. Facts. He's probably sweating bullets like a mug right now, especially with what happens later. But let's get through this. But I just wanted to show you guys a little bit. Okay. And I'm sorry. court documents. I'm so sorry. You know, I had to try. I had to try with the British accent. You know, it's a sad attempt, but I tried anyway. But anyway, he said in that interview he doesn't sweat, which there are photos that show him glistening in the sun, and that glisten ain't Vaseline, y'all. It's not like he's heavily moisturized. No, it's called sweat. Okay. And then, of course, he says he never met this woman at the time that she says that they met, yet there are photos showing them together. Very, very interesting. Just a little recap for you guys. Let's continue.
These are claims he's denied many times.
I took the decision.
In his 2019 BBC interview, the prince denied ever meeting her, despite this now infamous photo.
Isn't that beautiful? Isn't it beautiful? When it's like, I never met her. I don't know what you're talking about. And then there it is. I don't know what you're talking about. And then it splat out right up in your face. Right there. I don't know what you're talking about. I've never met her. And I have a weird condition where I cannot sweat because I was at war. War! He was in battle. And because of that, because of a war injury, he can't sweat. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh. And apparently, he temporarily had this problem because apparently he says later on that he can't, that now he can sweat. Apparently now he can sweat. But then during that time when he did meet this woman, well, he says he didn't meet this woman, but during that time, he says it's impossible because at that time I had a strange condition where I couldn't sweat because of war. I'm sorry. Yes, I am loving it. How watch this. Yes, it is just too damn funny. Anyway, I'm sorry for relishing in this, but it just feels so good when bad guys get screwed over, doesn't it? So let's continue.
You don't remember meeting her?
No.
His accuser also speaking to the BBC, describing the night she says she first met him.
He is the most hideous dancer I've ever seen in my life.
I'm sorry. He is the most hideous dancer. I'm sorry. Oh my God. Oh, thank you so much. Good Morning America for this video. How does one dance hideously? That is a very heavy. I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep my cool. I'm sorry, but how do you do that? How do you become? That is a serious accusation. You have got to be really, really bad to be the most hideous dancer, because you know the movement of body is beautiful. What? Now I wonder what she was seeing with her own eyes. What was bestowed in front of her when they were on the dance floor? You know what I'm saying? What was he doing in front of her that she was like, oh my God, this monstrosity. And apparently he wasn't sweating, but she continues.
I mean, it was horrible. And this guy was sweating all over me.
The prince rejecting that claim.
There's a slight problem with the sweating because I have a peculiar medical condition, which is that I don't sweat, or I didn't sweat at the time. Because
you heard that. I didn't sweat at the time. So in other words, this sweating and to be able to sweat and not be able to sweat turns on and off. It just comes in and out. Some days he sweats, some days he doesn't. Some months he does, some months he doesn't. He says it right here. I'm gonna roll that back just a tiny bit. Hideous dancer. I'm sorry. That's just incredible. Hideous. Like he's this. How do you dance hideously? I'm just curious. That you have got to work so hard to be a hideous dancer. Do you see what I'm saying? Even the worst dancer in the world still has a moment of grace, right? You know, like a broken clock is correct at least 2 times a day. You know what I'm saying? A hideous dancer is that's a serious critique on somebody's performance. Man,
condition, which is that I don't sweat, or I didn't sweat at the time,
Didn't sweat at
because I had suffered what I would describe as an overdose of adrenaline in the Falklands War when I was shot at, and it was almost impossible for me to sweat.
Okay, so he was shot at. He wasn't shot. Bullet didn't go into his body. He was just shot at. So great stress or great amount of adrenaline, which we talked about with David when David was on, I think it was last week or so when we talked about this before. Yes, apparently you can have the ability to not be able to make secretions out of the orifices on your skin, right? But apparently if you have that much adrenaline pumping through your body, you're going to die. You're going to go into cardiac arrest. You're going to die. Period, boo. So you apparently he got shot at, and suddenly all of a sudden, like his body, like a sponge, just retained all the moisture it could. I'm just saying that just he capped him like a mug, man.
Andrew also claims that on the night of one of their alleged encounters, he was with his daughter.
On that particular day, I was at home. I was with the children. I'd taken Beatrice to a Pizza Express in Woking for a party.
But now the prince and his legal team are under pressure to provide evidence to support those claims. And it's a ruling which only darkens the clouds over Buckingham Palace.
This is doing a huge amount of damage to the institution of the monarchy. This is the Queen's Platinum Jubilee year. This is a year when the royal family was intended to be very much in the spotlight for celebratory reasons. And now we have a situation where this is threatening to completely overshadow everything that happens.
Lawyers for Virginia Giuffre say she's pleased at this latest ruling and that evidence will now be taken concerning her claims. But whatever happens here, it certainly doesn't feel like Prince Andrew will ever be able to return to public life. Michael.
Okay. So we have this piece. I might play the rest of this later on. Okay. But you hear that the judge has rejected PA's bid to throw out this SA lawsuit. The judge says, nope, got to bring him in. And therefore they are. Okay. So you see all that. Prince A has been feeling like he's untouchable, that there's no possible way he can go and see the inside of a courtroom or actually see that any of these lawsuits would actually stick, especially the one against Virginia Giuffre. Right? He's like, there's no way. I am untouchable because I am a royal. Well, that changed drastically now. Now we're looking at something completely different because here's the thing. Seems like Queen Elizabeth wised the F up and realized that, hey, no, this boy did a very, very bad thing. So therefore, I'm going to strip him of every title he has. Breaking news. The moment we've all been waiting for, the title down below. Queen takes A's title. Duke of York is stripped of his Royal Highness, all of his military roles, and royal patronages, and is now told he will have to face the SA assault or the SA lawsuit as a private citizen. He riding solo dolo on this one, y'all. Yeah. He can't hide behind his band no more. He going out and he's making his own solo record. Yeah, he's going to be put on the chopping block all by his damn self. Prince Andrew will no longer be known as His Royal Highness in any official capacity, in a stunning downfall as his family tonight abandoned him to fight his SA lawsuit in America as a private citizen. A, who remains Duke of York, also loses his military titles and royal patronages with the Queen's approval and agreement. Now, here's the thing. Let me finish this. Buckingham Palace said in a terse statement, that brought his 61 years as a senior royal to a shocking end. Now, here's the thing, guys. Do you blame Queen Elizabeth for stripping him of all of his titles and all of his privileges? Do you blame her? If you have all this stuff, and if you think, and if she has been taking a keeping a close eye on this whole case and on this whole thing, do you think that she would just sit there and stand by her Duke? Or no? I say no. I think she made the smartest move she could ever do. Get herself as far away from this case as possible, which is relinquishing him of all of his duties, his titles, his privileges, and whatnot. I think it's at first, she's probably like, let me check it out. Let me see what's going on. Blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Let me see what the deal is. But then when the judge goes, hey, like I said, this is the reason why I showed you guys in the very beginning a little bit of what happened about the judge denying his bid for them to throw out this lawsuit. They said, no, you're going to have to either come in here or you're going to have to settle outside of court. Those are your only choices you got, right? Maybe by her sitting there, seeing what the judge has said, her doing her due diligence, I'm sure she had her people. I'm sure she got people that know people that know people that do things like deep dives, background checks, investigators, guys that are willing to do the dirty to find out the truth, the real truth about certain things. Who's to say that she found out some real stuff? Some real truths about everything. Some harsh truths about all this. Then the judge does that, says, nope, we're rejecting your bid. You need to come in here. Yeah, you can still come in as Duke. You can still come in as your Royal Highness. You can still come in with all your royal privileges and all that stuff. But at the same time, you're still coming in nonetheless. She, the Queen, sees that and goes, no, you are not about to tarnish this title. You're not about to tarnish this royal family for things that you may have done. Whether she knows if it's true or not, you never know. Maybe she knows the truth. But of course she's going to sit there and go, boom, I got to cut you off. That's the other thing. Lady Justice, thank you so much. She jumped the gun, dagnabbit, but I appreciate you pulling this up. Let me grab this because I can actually grab that now. Says right here, Lady Justice, you ain't wrong. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Yes. Apparently, rumor has it, PA is allegedly her favorite child. A parent doesn't do that unless they have certainty of information. This is a major and very telling. I absolutely 110% agree. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat because I'm going to be real. Because we are talking about this article or this topic, most likely this video will not be monetized. It will most likely get flagged because we're talking about these things, GM, JE, and PA. We talk about any of those things, for some odd reason, we get knocked down. SR, thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much. We love you too. Thank you so much for loving the show. I appreciate it. But as you can see, and what Lady Justice just said, she ain't wrong. The Queen probably knows some things too. Like I just said a second ago too. She probably knows some things. And then on top of that, you got the judge going, oh, hell no, you coming in. Because what you did is break the law. Or you're being charged for breaking the law. And the law still can get to somebody who is a part of the royal family. It does not matter how high up you are. If you're a 1%er or if you are of royal blood or no, you should be brought in and tried no matter what, because there should be justice for all the women, all the young women that were possibly by this piece of work. Okay? So, of course, the queen is going to sit there and go, you are not about to tarnish our blood and our name, our legacy by you doing what you've done. And then, of course, you also got to think about this. Maybe she got a chance to sit down and watch PA's interview, that monstrosity of an interview that was not only embarrassing in telling about him, but is extremely embarrassing for the royal family. Let's not forget that. So she gets to see all that. And then the judge goes, hell no, you coming in, bruh. And you will be tried. Putting all those things together, I'm sure with her finding out what's going on. And of course, you got to remember, if allegedly he is her favorite, you don't think she already knows his tendencies? You don't think she already knows his character? Think about it. This is just confirming it, maybe. This is just solidifying maybe the rumors that fly around the family. Let's move on. He is only the fifth royal in recent history to stop using the HRH title, with Princess Diana and Sarah, Duchess of York, losing their styling after their divorce, while Prince Harry and Meghan Markle agreed to lose theirs as part of their Megxit deal with the Queen. Now, that's another conversation in itself, and we covered that like 2 years ago, I think, when they did the whole sit down and talking about the royal family being the racist and all that stuff, but that's a whole other Charles Dickens story for sure. The decision to shred Andrew's military ties is likely to be particularly painful for the Royal Navy veteran who served with distinction as a helicopter pilot during the Falklands War. Okay, sure. And I'm sure he was shot at. But does that make you suddenly not be able to sweat? Asking for a friend. Moving on. It comes after a day after a U.S. judge unequivocally rejected the prince's bid. Like I said, see what I'm saying? It's a domino effect. It was the U.S. judge that rejected his bid to have his essay case thrown out, leaving him facing the prospect of being cross-examined for 7 hours on camera with embarrassing questions on everything from his personal life and his naughty bits. Yeah. Andrew has urged to settle out of court with his royal's accuser, Virginia Giuffre, for the sake of his mother, who celebrates her platinum jubilee this year. But he could face difficulties given Miss Giuffre is said to be pushing for her day in court. And obviously, she should be. If these heinous things happen to her, and he was a part of these heinous things, she should see her day in court. Don't you think? Buckingham Palace announced the Queen's decision to cast Andrew out of the royal fold in a statement released this afternoon. So, here's some of it. With the Queen's approval and agreement, the Duke of York's military affiliations and royal patronages have been returned to the Queen, it read. The Duke of York will continue not to undertake any public duties and is defending this case as a private citizen. I don't know why I came out with this Southern accent, but it happened. But as a private citizen, he's screwed. Now, here it is, though, too. When I hear royal patronages, does that mean, and maybe I could be completely wrong, I haven't Googled it or anything, but so I'm asking the fam. But to me, it seems like they're saying he ain't getting none of his monies that he used to get, that he's not being financially backed by the royal family anymore, or by these titles that he was getting, right? Because I'm sure he gets some sort of allowances and salaries. I don't know the breakdown of the royal family, right? But I would assume when they say royal patronages, that, hey, that means the Skrilla, dem bags, that he has been cast out. Queen Elizabeth casted him out like a damn Shakespeare play. He has been banished like a damn Shakespeare play. A royal source said the issue had been widely discussed with the royal family, making it likely that the Prince of Wales, as well as A, were involved in crisis talks over the matter. The source said the military posts would be redistributed to other members of the royal family. The palace said previously that the Duke's military appointments were in abeyance after he stepped down from public duties in 2019. But prior to today, he still retained the roles, including the position of Colonel of Grenadier Guards, hopefully Grenadier, I don't know, Guards. Sorry for messing that up. One of the oldest and most emblematic regiments in the British Army. His other British honorary military titles are Honorary Air Commodore of RAF. Don't know how to pronounce that word. Colonel-in-Chief of the Royal Irish Regiment, Colonel-in-Chief of the Small Arms School Corps, Commodore-in-Chief of the Flight Air Arm, Royal Colonel of the Royal Highland. Don't know how to pronounce that. Just a bunch of other things, okay? So he had some names. He had some titles, okay? Long story short, he had some titles, okay? It comes after more than 150 veterans joined forces to express their outrage, writing to the Queen to demand that A was removed from the honorary military positions. That's very interesting, too. So other people, veterans for that fact, stepped up and said, no, man. No. They asked her. They demanded that he was removed. So the people had spoken, or, at least the veterans. The veteran people have spoken, right? Men and women that probably stood with him in battle, right? Wrote to her, wrote to the Queen, and said, no, take him, remove his titles. And so she did. Accusing, this is after what they said, remove him of his honorary military positions, accusing the Duke of bringing the services he is associated with into disrepute. The 152 former members of the Royal Navy, RAF, and Army said that were this any other senior military officer, it is inconceivable that he would still be in post. The Queen is head of the armed forces, and honorary military appointments are in her gift. I'm sorry. There he is, all decked out. And there's the Queen in royal blue, I guess. Here it is. That's crazy. With the Queen's approval and agreement, the Duke of York's military affiliations and royal patronages have been returned to the Queen. The Duke of York will continue not to undertake any public duties and is defending this case as a private citizen. It says it right here in the statement. Crazy, y'all. Dickie Arbiter, the former assistant press secretary at the palace, told the Times that the Queen would be very sad about the decision to strip her son of his duties. He added, but she is pragmatic, and it is about protecting the interests of the institution. Andrew now is really out in the cold. And isn't he, though? Isn't he? The Queen comes up and said, we find out about all this stuff. We need to chuck up the deuces. You out. He is now a private citizen of the world or whatever. He has to fend for himself. So mama cut ties with A. PA has nothing. And if I'm correct, as far as like royal patron, automatically I think no monies. No monies whatsoever. Wow. Yeah. So as it says right over here, there's a list of different things. All of his patronages, all of them. Wow. Which I'm assuming he gets funding of some sort. It's all over here. Like, that is some serious. Wow, that's bad. He's screwed. This dude's screwed. But I wonder, like, for somebody who used to be, right, who used to be such and such, like, where he gonna get his monies? That's the part I wonder. Where is he gonna get his monies? Where the F is he going to get his monies? Huh. All right. So it says here, a stern-faced PA broke his cover in Windsor this morning with the Duke seen sitting in the back of an 80,000-pound Range Rover while being driven from his home in Windsor Great Park. Today, a source close to the royal said he would continue to defend himself against Miss Giuffre's allegations following the judge's decision to dismiss his legal team's attempt to have this case thrown out. The source also said, given the robustness with which Judge Kaplan greeted our arguments, we are unsurprised, by the ruling. However, it was not a judgment on the merits of Miss Giuffre's allegations. This is a marathon, not a sprint, and the Duke will continue to defend himself against these claims. It came as reports suggested he could avoid a trial by using the sale of his 18 million pound Swiss chalet to try to pay off Miss Giuffre with at least 10 million pounds of the proceedings or of the proceeds. It was also revealed this week that A and his ex-wife Sarah, the Duchess of York, settled a 6.6 million pound debt with a French socialite, paving the way for him to sell his beloved ski chalet to fund his alleged SA case. I mean, this is just bad. I mean, all of this is looking very, very bad for him. He's going to have to come into the U.S. try and fight for his life as a private citizen. He has been removed of all of the special things that he gets, right? All the money as well. I mean, he pissed off mama. He pissed off mama bad. So much that she said, no, I'm good. She chucked out the deuces, said, hey, I'm stripping you of everything. I mean, he's still, from my understanding, he still has the title of Duke of York, I think. But he is no, I guess. But I'm assuming he just got everything stripped of him. He's stripped naked right now. He's not getting his monthly allowance or his weekly allowance. God knows however they do it in the royal family. He ain't making nothing. Period. Hey, watch this. Everyone that has seen him dance knows he did it. Facts. Because apparently he's a hideous dancer. How does that happen? But yeah, homeboy done. Homeboy done. No longer His Royal Highness. Been stripped of everything. I got another little clip I want to show you guys right quick. But this is bad, y'all. This is bad. He's screwed. I personally think that he's screwed, but weirder things have happened. Let's take a look at this.
Breaking news from the royal family. It turns out Prince Andrew has now been stripped of his military titles and charities. It comes a day after a judge in New York had ruled that a civil lawsuit involving sexual abuse allegations could go ahead against the Duke of York. Now, Andrew, for his most part, will no longer use His Royal Highness in any official capacity. That from a royal source telling CNN today. And in a statement, Buckingham Palace says he will now defend that case that will go ahead in New York as a private citizen instead.
So now, I wonder if he's sweating now. Like, I wonder how much he's perspiring right now. You know? Because to me, my mind is still blown with this whole situation. This part, not the allegations. I think him guilty like a mug. Absolutely. I think what he's done is terrible. And I think he's not the only one. I think there's a lot of other 1%ers and a lot of men and women that run and move and shake this world, that make very big decisions for this world, are involved as well in some shape or capacity, for sure. But the fact that mama got mad enough to sit there and say, no, you cannot take the car out this weekend. How dare you? You know what I'm saying? This is more than a slap on the wrist. This is more than a little pat on the bottom. This is more than a spanking. He got disowned. He got disowned by his own mama. Real talk. Mama said, no. Now that I've heard everything and you saying you ain't sweating, man, can you imagine? Can you imagine if it was like a hot summer day? You know what I'm saying? Well, actually, it's not like summer, but, you know, maybe they're inside, right? And they're all sitting there eating dinner, right? And together as a royal family, you know, and out of nowhere, he just says, she just turns to him and goes, you know, are you, you know, my word, are you hot, Andrew? And he's like, no, I'm fine. She's like, I'll just take off the sweater. It's hot in here. Just take off the sweater. And then he does, and he just has armpit stains, just sweat stains in his armpits. And then she goes, it's over. Like, you know what I'm saying? What was the moment that made her realize, let me relinquish him of all of his duties? Seriously. What if they, you know, they're British, so it's not like they eat a lot of like spicy foods. You never know. And they're just sitting there eating some food, and he accidentally, they're trying some really good spicy food or something like that, and he just starts to just a little teardrop of sweat just comes down, just this right there on his forehead. Mama's just sitting there eating the thing, watching him, just going, I knew it. You're a liar. You know what I mean? Like, I just wonder. What was the straw that broke her back? It just makes me wonder. You know what I mean? It's like a Shakespearean play that is unfolding. I'm just saying. You know? They eat a lot of creamed corn. They eat a lot of creamed corn. You know, oh, love, you're perspiring. I thought you had a medical condition. Oh, no. On and off, mama. On and off. You know what I mean? Her favorite. Been out here doing the dirty. Denying it. Not only does he sweat profusely, but he's also a hideous dancer. That takes a lot. That takes a lot, y'all. That takes a whole lot. And that's such a graphic detail. That's a little tiny, you know what I mean? Little tiny detail, right? That's like, bruh, whoa, that is serious. That's a serious observation that he is just a hideous dancer. Oh, so I'm messy. Pascal, you so messy. Oh, well, you know, I like having fun when the bad guys finally getting in trouble for things that they've done. You see what I'm saying? Especially like, I feel like this was something that was a long time coming, you know, that should have happened a long ass time ago. I think that Queen Elizabeth should have stepped away from him, and the royal family should have relinquished him of all of his duties when all this stuff first came out. Actually, it should have came out even more when that interview dropped, because that interview was just trash. That moment is like, come on. You could see he's sitting there, he's just pulling shit out of his ass. Pardon my French, but yeah, he's just pulling it out of his ass. You can see he's like, well, you know, I have this thing and I'm just going to pull this, just going to fib a little while and see if I can finesse you. That's exactly what he did for a whole interview. And if it took her this long to finally sit down and watch his interview, then that's astonishing. But yes, Black Anonymous, that interview was god awful. And the fact that she didn't relinquish him of his duties back by then is mind-blowing to me, y'all. Mind-blowing. Like, I would have been like, oh, what? You don't sweat? You see what I'm saying? You don't sweat? That doesn't work for me. And if I was the mother, man, I would have put my foot down a long time ago. That's just me. And I get it that maybe they were waiting for a little while before, right? They made that announcement until they said, hey, you know, we just found out the truth, and people are now finding out more information and all that before they just completely throw him under the bus. I understand that piece, but instead of them just going, well, that was really crappy, and now if we relinquish him of his duties, this could make him look worse, right? And maybe he is innocent, so let me see what's going on, right? But now as you start to, it's been a while now since that interview. I'm sure she's gotten her people, to come out and investigate. At least try to investigate, in this situation. Because like I said, this is wild, man. And now he's going to have to fund his own legal team. He's going to have to fund himself, his life, period, from this point on. I don't think I've ever heard a person or a royal get their titles back. And to me, this makes it seem like Queen Elizabeth and her cohorts know some things that we don't know yet. she finally found out some truths and said, nope, he does not represent the royal family the way the royal family deserves to be represented. Therefore, we need to let him go. To me, this is very telling. To me, this makes him guilty even more. And it's about damn time she did that. Let him shake in his little boots. Let him know what it feels like to be naked in the cold wind by his damn self with no shelter or fine fur pelts wrapped around his body. That's what I think. Let him fend for himself. Madeline Reed, you ain't wrong. He done got fired from royalty. Absolutely. Like I said, the Queen probably was like, Rupert. And Rupert, I don't know why, but a lot of British, for some odd reason, Rupert is a nice, a British name for some odd reason. A lot of Ruperts out here. But Rupert, I need you to investigate on PA because he says he doesn't sweat. And we know that's a fib. We know that he's capping. Queen Elizabeth saying capping. That'd be hilarious. Anyway. And they did their due diligence. They looked it up. They saw what was going down and found out that, yeah, he been lying. Yeah, Rupert. Yeah, Rupert, y'all. Why is Rupert like the name? It's like a British name, Rupert. You know what I mean? Am I the only one? I feel like that's like a name that's very British, Rupert. So her private investigator, you know, the guy who's willing to do dirty, his name is Rupert. That's what I'm calling him, at least. So just ride with me. You know what I mean? Bless me with this imagination. Okay? And so she goes, hey, I need you to do your due diligence. Look things up. Do some background checking on my son. Let's find out what's going on. Because at one time, I thought my son could never do no wrong. And here we are. So, Rupert. I'll say it again. Juanita, I'm just being stupid. I'm just trying to have some fun now. You know what I mean? I like to relish in moments like this because it's fine. It's nice that we are at least stepping towards a possibility of justice being served. The possibility of justice being served. That's what I want to see. Because we don't have JE. And GM may be retried because of a juror, which I'm not going to get into right now, but because of a juror saying that in the past that he was SA'd as well, that he didn't say when they were picking their jury out during the trial. So we might have to go back to ground zero for GM. That's some BS. Black Anonymous. It's not every day that I'm talking about British, international news like this. So it'd be, I don't know, but it would be funny if I did that. Just Rupert, and everyone's just drunk on tequila. You know what I mean? That'd be hilarious. Maybe one day. But yeah, and I needed the laugh too, because like I said, we've been talking about all this other stuff, all this brutality, all this other crap. Necessary news. Sorry for calling it crap. I'm not trying to say crap. Just a lot of bad news. So it's nice to just kind of smile a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And sorry, Sidecar Tommy, I kind of have to if I want to have this be a somewhat monetized, because that's just how the cookie crumbles here on this platform, unfortunately. But like I said, this is what's going down. This is what's popping off. He stripped of all of his stuff, and it's bad. It's looking really, really bad for PA. And I'm not tripping over it. I'm just gonna be straight funky. I ain't tripping over it. Let him flounder for a little bit. Let him try to figure it out. You know what I mean? But anyway, guys, it is time to get going. That is just the breaking news story that I have for it right now. I got a bunch of other stories, other cases that I'm going to be bringing up here very, very soon to talk with you guys about. Like I said, I have another story that happened in Fayetteville just a few days before the murder of Jason Walker that I still want to get a chance to chop it up about with you guys. So I will be talking about that maybe later on tonight or tomorrow at some point. But keep a lookout for when I go live or when I have some pop-ups. I do have a pop-up that I did yesterday about a woman, a teen girl, tossing her baby in a dumpster, which I did a deep dive into and talked about it at great length. So please go check that out if you get some time. That would really mean a lot. And of course, check out my other videos. Of course, do not forget to hit that like button, okay? Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button, all right? And share this feed if you can. Tell people to come over. Oh, and follow me on Twitter. I know that's I got a lot of asks right now, but yeah, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, all that stuff, please. I'd really, really appreciate it, okay? And yeah, Burr, cheerio. Cheerio. All right? So yeah, anyway, guys, it's time to get going. Much love to you guys. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys very soon. Yeah, he got screwed over big time. And it feels so good. I feel righteous right now. And I'm hopeful. And I hope he talks. That's the other piece. And let me throw that in there too. I hope he starts to squawk. And he's like, I'm putting cases on everybody. And he takes a whole bunch of other people down with him as we watch his boat sink to the very bottom of the ocean. It's getting bad out here for him. Anyway, Mama done stripped him of everything. Mama ain't supporting him no more. That is huge, y'all. Mama mad. And rightfully so. Anyway, see you guys soon. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.